Hello everybody and welcome back to another post-practice report here from the Michigan football facilities. I'm Alejandro Zuniga for the Michigan Insider, michigan.247sports.com. The Wolverines are coming off their bye week, preparing for Illinois on the road. First ranked versus ranked matchup at Memorial Stadium in Champaign since 2000, and quietly a very, maybe not so quietly, a very big game for both programs. In particular, the Illini. They are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the dedication of Memorial Stadium. That was a game where Red Grange accounted for 6 touchdowns in an upset over the Wolverines. Illinois actually petitioned the Big Ten to have this game be against Michigan, a Michigan-Illinois rematch in the 100th anniversary, almost to the day of that game back in 1924. It's going to be a sellout. They're going to be wearing special uniforms. It's going to be a nationally broadcast game on CBS. So it is a very big game for that program and also for Michigan, coming in at 4-2, coming in off a bye week, breaking in a new quarterback. That is one thing we learned this week. Sherrone Moore confirmed that it will be Jack Tuttle at quarterback for the Wolverines. He, of course, replaced Alex Orji in the first half of that game at Washington a couple weeks ago. Led 3 straight scoring drives with a couple touchdowns. He's going to be the quarterback for the Wolverines at Illinois. Talked to Jack Tuttle over the last couple weeks. What we learned from him is that in his return from that off-season surgery, from that recovery from the arm injury, he only really returned to practice the week of the Washington game. He had been throwing the ball on and off, was supposed to return in summer, but it actually took him longer than he expected to return to full health. He only returned in full to practice the week of the Washington game, so he's now had a couple weeks to get reacclimated, not only with the Michigan offense, but with being a full participant in live football. So the expectation for him is that he's going to be able to throw the ball a bit more, threaten downfield a bit more than Alex Orji was able to. But of course, that's facing an Illinois defense that has really struggled in defending the run game the last couple of weeks. So there will be opportunities for the Michigan offense to take advantage in that regard. In terms of injuries that Michigan had the last time we saw them against Washington, Dom Jadis was out, so was left tackle Myles Hinton, so was Derek Moore, the edge rusher. What we heard from Sherrone Moore this week is that all 3 of them are trending in the right direction. We talked to Lou Esposito today, in fact. He said that he'd considered Derek Moore to be day-to-day, that he participated in practice yesterday, but that they're going to see how his injury progresses throughout the rest of the week before deciding whether or not he'll be able to go for Illinois. What it's going to look like for Michigan on the offensive line is still to be determined. If Myles Hinton is good to go, which Sherrone Moore said he expects he will be, Myles Hinton will be your left tackle, as you might expect. That being said, Dom Jadis, who again, he was out against Washington, Greg Crippen started. Sherrone Moore indicated that he believes that Greg Crippen has really solidified himself in that starting center role, so expect him to be the starter at center at Illinois. In terms of right tackle, that is an ongoing competition. Evan Link has been the right tackle throughout this season. Jeff Percy started at left tackle at Washington because of Myles Hinton's injury. Sounds like he is in competition or in contention to be the starter there at right tackle against Illinois. We'll see how that plays out, but potentially some reshuffling along the offensive line. Sticking on the defensive line now, one thing we learned this week, Josiah Stewart has been elevated from alternate captain to full-time captain. Talked to Lou Esposito today, said he absolutely deserves that role. Impressed with everything that Josiah Stewart has done both on the field as a game record, one of the best edge rushers in college football by all metrics, the hard stats to Pro Football Focus and the eye test, of course, but someone who has really become a leader off the field as well. And with Rod Moore being injured, being out, not being an on-the-field captain, coaches felt that it was important that Josiah Stewart be a captain on the field and give him an opportunity to use his voice as such. In terms of what this bye week has looked like for Michigan, it has really been a focus on the fundamentals. Talking to offensive linemen this week, they said they really went back to day one's type of things, really break it down to the most basic, because as we've seen from Michigan, things from hand placement to form tackling have been issues. That has been the priority for the Wolverines this week as they hope to enter the second half of the season and rebound from a couple losses and potentially contending for a Big Ten championship, potentially contending for a college football playoff berth. If that's going to happen, it's going to need to start this weekend at Illinois. The Wolverines are 3-point favorites as of last check, but as mentioned, it's going to be a massive game for both programs, nationally televised, 100th anniversary of that Red Grange game, the dedication of Memorial Stadium, and a ranked versus ranked matchup at Memorial Stadium for the first time since the turn of the century. I will be there, the Michigan Insider will be there. I hope to see you there. For everyone over at our staff, I'm Alejandro Zuniga. We'll talk to you next time.